Hey friends, if you've been here before to our channel, Maria's Ideas Art, thank you for returning. If you are new, welcome. We hope you will enjoy this tutorial and also watch our show, which we film in Pittsburgh once a month at Johno's Art Studio and Maria's Ideas in the Southside Slopes. If you are ever in Pittsburgh, look us up. Our hours are on my website, mariasideas.com. So what we are doing here is just a short tutorial. You can also watch our show in the greater Pittsburgh area on a Verizon channel and a Comcast channel. It airs on Bethel Park cable TV several times a month, but then also obviously 24 hours. You can watch it here on my channel and also their channel. So we only have the tutorial is on my channel. So that's what I'd like to do for you guys if anyone has trouble with the drawing. So this episode is 43. This is what I designed for our guest. So we already filmed the show, and this was the painting that I did. And we do these very quickly, under 40 minutes. So as I'm teaching. So it may look a little bit different than my drawing, but we do inspire everyone to create their own. Don't worry about making it look like mine. Everyone does have their own style, even if you've never painted, everyone does. So, and the only way to figure out what it is to create, right? So let's get started here. So in the during the show, this one we did use a small 11 by 14 wrapped canvas, but for demonstration purposes, I used a panel. I just have a piece of paper over a canvas panel. So I am going to show you how to use the grid system if you are not familiar. So this is a way to transfer a design that either you print out or draw smaller, resize it, make it larger, make it smaller. You can also use this to create a mural on a wall. I've been doing murals in the Pittsburgh area for almost 30 years, and I've used that many times, which is helpful. So that's what I'm going to show here. So the only thing you need to keep in mind is the proportions. So this is 11 by 14. This is around 5 by 7, close to it, but you can see it's a rectangle. If this was a square and this was a rectangle and we create the grid, it's not going to line up properly. It can be off a little. This does not have to be precise. This is just a guide to help you get the main lines, your composition laid out. You create all of the details and fix everything as you are painting. So let's move my little things here and get started. So we can do this one of two ways. So I'm going to show you from drawing something that was printed small onto larger. You can also, if you print something out that you are transferring or want to draw something that is the exact size, there's graphite paper, which is just like graphite from a pencil that is on the other side, and it's very inexpensive. You can get this online, or a craft store, comes on a roll, comes in sheets. You can use it over and over and over again. This piece, I've been using it for months and months, so it works great. So that you just lay under the drawing, draw over it, and it transfers it on for you. You can also use chalk, and when we were kids, we used to rub a pencil on the design, look at it up, maybe up to a window if you can't see the lines, and that used to work just as well. But we're going to use the grid system now. So what I'm going to do is create equal or close to equal parts on this as I do here. So I have my little drawings. I'm going to fold it in half vertically, and then vertically again. All right, and then I will fold it horizontally. Okay, so this you will end up with 16, 4, I'm sorry, yeah, yes, 16 rectangles, and you may not be able to see them real well. So I am going to, let's see, I will take pencil. I'll take a blue pencil here, and I'm just going to draw the creases as I folded it, just so you can see where they are. You can use a ruler, you can use a straight edge. I just usually do everything just by eyeballing it, because again, it's art. We're not trying to make this a photorealistic creation. We just want to have fun. All right, so there we have the rectangles. We're going to do the same thing on our canvas board. Now you can take a tape measure or a ruler and you can measure equal parts. That's fine. I again, usually just get a point of reference, a kind of center from, I guess, from doing artwork, custom artwork forever, and looking at things and seeing if things are crooked and centered. My eye pretty much figures it out for me. So that's the vertical line. Again, this does not have to be perfect, just somewhere close and it will work. So I'm putting the dot above and below. And then as you draw the line, you look where you're going, and that will help you stay in that same direction and in the right level. So we have the horizontal lines coming across here, and then divide that again in half, come across here. All right, so now we have our equal parts. And you can see this one, these are a little bit wider at the bottom, not a biggie. And you will see why this will still work. Let's see, I'm going to switch to a purple pencil and see, you know what, I'm going to do this bright orange or red and see if this shows up good. All right, so usually I like to work with the focal point. This is a beetle, a dung beetle. If you watch the show, you'll see why I chose this, and this is called Emerald and Espresso. So this relates to our guest who owns a local coffee shop, and he is also a roaster. So, and he lived where these guys used to live, where the dung beetles live. So this was my inspiration. All right, so let's start with, I'm going to start with the cup, because I feel like this is a little bit more structural. This can, you know, we can make him a little chubbier, we can make him a little thinner, a little bigger, a little smaller if it ends up like that. But this we want to make sure we get this shape right. So what we're going to do is find this rectangle here. What we see in here is what we repeat here. So if I do a couple points of reference, so here, 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 and here. So I have 4 points. The top of the cup, this front edge of the cup is about halfway between the height. So if I do this, the coffee itself is about halfway between, a little bit higher than halfway between that point and this one. And then we have the bottom here. So if we create this same line, again, we're just sketching. You fix everything as you're painting. And we have this one here, we have this one here, and then you can pay attention to the way it's curving, and that is because of the viewpoint. We're viewing it from the front, but also slightly above. If you were down below, it would be shaped differently. All right, so let's see. So now we will come over to this one, and we will, you can see here, if I go like this, it's not quite center. So it's about here. All right, so then I know that comes here. And then this one, and these come over here. And then this one goes behind the beetle. All right, and I can see, yeah, it's not perfect, but again, it gives us a guide. All right, and then the cup itself, this third rectangle down, it's right about here. It's about 1/4 up is where the bottom of the cup meets this vertical line. So we just want to draw a curved arch, but you can also indicate where this would be too. So if you want to come out something like that, and then you just connect them. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing again. The dung beetle will be covering up some of that, but that's okay. And this might look a little odd, but it does work out. All right, and then the bottom of the cup is right about here. All right, and then the handle, we can put that in now, or I'll just put that little hint of it there, but I'll worry about that after I get him in there. And then the saucer is, let's see, if we draw, sometimes if you just do the lines, it helps you. You can see that's a third of the way down. So that comes right from here. And then if you do this, I'm just used to, like I said, eyeballing it, but you can certainly measure. And then this comes right below here. So that's how it gives you that nice elliptical shape. And then this way, and then you can do the same for this side. And then this obviously would come all the way over. You can draw it and then erase though. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. I should say not erase. When I was in high school, our teachers used to cut our erasers off our pencils because she wanted us to think about what we were creating. And if we thought we made a mistake, then we would just work with it. So creativity is, you do make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, but you turn them into something else. And some of my favorite paintings were where I had what I thought was at the time a mistake, but it ended up being something awesome. All right. So I should have said also, when you draw, use, and I apologize if you already did it, but hopefully you're watching this first. I use watercolor pencils or chalk or light graphite pencil when I'm working on my actual canvas. Now, if you want to do these lines, if you do them lightly, I'm just doing them darker so that you can see them. I would just do them very lightly. If you're using a watercolor pencil, when it gets wet with the paint and your water on the canvas, it will just melt back into your artwork. But I do recommend keeping these very light. All right, so I apologize for not saying that sooner. I just get excited when I get to draw. All right, so there's our shadow. So you can see we already have the cup, and it looks a little bit different shape, but again, you can tweak it when you paint it or before you start. And then we have the shadow, which again, you're doing all of this as you paint. But so we have, this is where our shadow would be, and so we have our coffee mug, all right? And then this is the coffee in there. Now let's get this handsome guy. I'll grab a dark green. All right. Now, yes, you might be thinking, oh, I don't know how to draw this. Well, again, you just look at what's in, look at the shape, the rectangle, and just draw what you see. So I'm going to start with the face. If I draw, let's see, I'll take this just to show you. If I start with this point here, that's about half. Okay, so if I divide, and you can do this with each rectangle, you can go ahead if it makes it easier, and you can divide each one in half vertically and horizontally again. You can do that on here, on your wall, on your canvas. And if that makes it easier, that's fine too. You can keep going. You can make 16 squares or rectangles just right in this one. I just choose to keep it simpler just because I've had a little bit more experience, but you do whatever makes it easier for you. All right, so if I look at this center point here, I have, I don't know what any of these parts are on a beetle. All right, the body, and that's that little curved part here. It comes up, it goes out here. So this comes below. So kind of something like this, all right? And then we have, let's see, the eyeball. We have the eye, which is kind of bulgy there. Maybe a little bit bigger. Let me get in here a little bit closer. Okay. And then we have this. We have the other eye is right. You could see that this is my other intersection of lines here. This eye is down here. Okay, so if I color them in, maybe that will help. Then we have this, and so again, just create your details as you paint. All right, and let's see. And then we have this. I feel like this is not showing up as good as I would like it to. So this is his eyes here. And then we have this. We have, this is where a little, we always tend to say antennas. Are they like little antennas? Little, I don't know what these are. It's a good thing to, maybe I'll do some research. I usually like to study the subjects that I paint, but sometimes life gets in the way. All right, so we have these little guys here. We have that. We have this. Okay. And that's that. And then the highlights and shadows will make this look more accurate. Right now, it just looks like his eyes are looking up. But if this was dark and we have the little highlight with all our shading and everything, that's where you bring your flat elements, flat artwork, I should say, to life, is with highlights and shadows. All right. So now his body is here, goes off of the canvas. This is where it would separate. These are the wings, so that's there. And then this comes down here. And then all of this detail gets done when we painted it. And let's see, these little legs. So we have this one. I draw a line here. This one is in this upper right, okay? So we have these little bit of the body and some little fuzzy pieces there. We have this, that's in shadow, which you don't have to draw the shadows. Again, I'm just doing this so that maybe it helps you. And I'm just following what I see. And then this will come down. So kind of something like that. If it needs to be thicker or thinner, again, as I paint, I will fix everything and adjust everything. All right, so that's that. And then we have the bit of the body here again. Then we have this. So that's here. So that is this one. Wait. Yeah, that's this one. Okay, because this is this one. We have that. Now we have this one. And then the body. And a lot of this is in shadow too. So you can just do something as simple as just some lines like this and just create the thickness as you paint. It's really up to you, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I just want you to be able to see where this is going. And then this one comes out here. And then this comes down and goes out like this. This looks quite alien, doesn't it? All right, so then we have a bit of the body here, and then there's this little right here. That's the leg from the other side. So we want to make sure we get that in there. And that is right in here. And then that shadow is here. So the shadows are all in here. So it looks, like I said, it looks a little funny right here just because of the way the eyes are. You can see here we have the shadows and the highlights, and that will give it its dimension. So we have our coffee cup, and then that handles, and you can change the shape of the cup, whatever. It's your artwork. So we hope you will watch our show, and we always have most of the time we have a guest. This is episode 43 of Maria's Ideas Teaches Us to Paint, and we already have everyone booked for the end of through the end of the year. So this is our third year, and we thank you for being here, and hope you enjoy it and get inspired to keep creating. It's a lot of fun, and anyone can learn to do it. So and please